everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Beauty and Brains podcast, where we talk about all things beauty, wellness, health, and science. I am here with a very special guest and my good friend, Chara. I am so happy you are here.
I'm so glad you invited me.
Yeah, this one is like a conversation like with good girlfriends.
I love
I'm just laughing already.
Yes, I was like, oh my God, I gotta be serious.
I'm so excited you are here. You're a friend, you're a business owner.
Yeah.
You have several beauty ventures, and we'll
Yeah.
kind of talk about some of those.
Okay.
But before we start, I want to play a game, okay? So this is a game of fact or fiction. So I'm going to make some statements, and you're going to tell me, like, are these things true? Are they not true? Fact or fiction? Like, what do you think? Okay, this is going to be like an easier one. Dark chocolate is good for your skin. Is that fact or is that fiction?
I'm not sure, so I'm gonna say it's fiction.
That one is actually a fact.
Is it?
Dark chocolate is good for your skin. It's rich in antioxidants that can protect against UV damage.
But I'm sure you got to do it in moderation.
In moderation.
Okay, because I'm
the
like,
sugar, the calorie.
Because people be like, oh
things.
yeah, just everybody gonna start eating it.
Exactly. Okay. So here's another one. Okay, I've been asking everybody this question because I really want to know what you think. You should wash your face with hot water to open your pores. Is that fact or fiction? Washing your face with hot water to open your pores.
I don't think that's fact.
It's fiction, right?
Right.
It's not a fact.
No.
So, we say a lot like, oh, I'm going to open up my pores.
Right.
But pores don't open or close. But hot water can strip the skin of the oils, the grit, and the grime that are in the pores. And so once you clean the skin thoroughly or clean the skin, it can make the pores appear smaller because you have gotten rid of all of the gunk and the dirt.
Now that makes sense.
That makes sense.
That does.
Here's another one. Okay. So this thing about 10,000 steps a day, 10,000 steps a day. So the 10,000 steps a day rule was created as a marketing gimmick, fact or fiction. So if we do 10,000 steps a day, we'll lose a pound a week. We should, strive.
Thing. And I may not know right or wrong, but let me just say I've seen it work.
Okay.
So then it's fact.
Right.
In my world.
True. Okay, so
you know what I mean?
It was created initially as a marketing gimmick. It originated in the 1960s.
Really?
From a 1960s Japanese pedometer campaign.
Okay.
Not scientific research.
Okay.
However, I have seen
it work.
The 10,000 steps a day work.
Absolutely.
Getting your activity, getting your 30 minutes a day.
You're more mobile.
But I don't necessarily know that it's because of the 10,000 steps.
I think it's because you're moving.
You're just active and just moving.
Because you're actually moving.
Because you're
and
actually moving.
And if in your mind you need to move 10,000 steps.
I think if you moved anyway,
it will work. Exactly. I think so. It's just to get you going. You might not even do 10,000, but you still may lose.
I'm pretty sure it's just to get you moving.
And it works. Sure. Okay. I can see that. Yeah.
So this one is a little bit more personal.
Okay.
What are you happiest about right now?
I think finding me. Yes,
we're gonna talk about that. Okay. Tell me more.
I'm happiest being able to be myself. You know what I'm saying? I've done the whole conform or dumb myself down and fit into different rooms or different circles that don't fit me. Mm-hmm. And now I don't give a. Oh, we shouldn't cuss, huh?
This is not nationally syndicated television.
Because I'm like, I don't care, right? I don't care about what people think. If it feels good for me, that's what moves me now.
Isn't that such a good place to be in?
It is.
It's such a liberating space.
It is. I'm like,
it is.
It's okay if you don't like it, but if I do, then I'm going to roll with it. Yes. So I'm happy to be there.
Let's talk about that. We stand an evolving woman, okay?
Yes.
And this podcast episode is going to be a message to women who are evolving, much like ourselves.
Okay.
So I want you to tell me a little bit about how you would define the biggest evolution that you've ever experienced. Now, whether it was personally, professionally, or both. Tell us a little bit about that, because I'm sure like your journey, like many other people who are listening or watching, has had a lot of twists and turns.
Of course.
So what would be your biggest evolution to date?
To date is going to be my mindset shift.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When you hit that certain age, it's one of those things like, ready or not, there's a shift. And when you shift, everything else changes too. Because you see things differently, or you see it for what it really is. You get so lost in the sauce, you know what I'm saying? And doing all the things that you feel are gonna essentially impress other people. And what are we doing it for? It's so silly.
It's so
like,
you know, we were talking about this one day, like all the things we've bought.
Oh God. Why do I have it? like,
why do I have all this stuff? And who
It's
did I
just
buy it for?
stuff.
It couldn't have been for me, because I never wear it.
Never wear it. I have it. And so now I'm like, well, I might as well wear it before I throw it away.
Because I have it.
I have it, but it didn't change anything about me. I had to change my mindset. It wasn't all of the shiny things. That just, you know, it's in my mind, I'm like, all of the things that we think we need to have to get us to the next level essentially kind of hold us back. Because instead of buying this, you should have been doing this.
And we didn't do a lot of that.
We didn't do a lot of things. We did the wrong things, and it may have impressed the wrong people.
The wrong people.
Like, what? Oh my God.
So you told me something like, this is actually back in October. So you know, in October, we went and played golf, y'all.
Yes.
So we got together. So by the way, I did not say
fun.
this. So Chara is a very successful permanent makeup artist in Houston. That is actually how we met. We're in the same industry, and she is very, very successful. She does a lot of brows, a lot of lips. She does a lot of scar camouflage and all of the things. She's great. Training services, and I'll make sure that I make her information available for you. But back in October, we went golfing.
Yes.
And so I planned an event. Shout out to TB, the brand strategist. Tina Bass does all of my brand strategies. So if you were to go to my page, if you've seen this, you've seen the execution of one of her perfectly curated moments. So shout out to her. But we got 20 artists together.
Yes.
In one place, and we went golfing. For one, the golfing was fun.
That was so much fun.
Right. Golfing on the green. It was so cute.
Just
we had all of our pink outfits on. We were super cute.
Yes.
And you came and you did like a little intro scar camouflage kind of talk for the girls. But as we were leading up to the event, and you're like, what am I going to talk about? What are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about? And I'm like, well, it's not a class. It's not a class. And you shared something with me. Yeah. And I'm not sure if it came to you in a dream or how it came to you. I'll let you talk about that. But
say what it was. I shared a lot of things.
I know. But you said that you had a vision. I'll call it a vision.
We're going to call it a vision. Oh, God. Yes.
Of the yellow brick road.
Yes.
Of the yellow brick road.
Yes, I'm telling you.
And so you told me, and the reason why I bring this story up is because when I tell you that since you told me that, I have made so many shifts in my life. Good. And so you said that what you interpreted it to mean was, don't carry anything that might be a load.
Correct.
And so when you told me that, that is what made me like start to look around in my life and like, okay, what is a load right now?
Right.
Like, what people, person, things, like what is a load?
Yes.
Even if it's like a mini load, what is a load in my life? And that actually played a large role in my decision to move my salon. I was like, you know what? Now I'm decided, because I was like, you know what? It's causing more of a distraction than it is helping. And it's so funny because I've had people say, why did you decide to move your shop? Like, your initial shop was like 4 times as big. Like, what made you downgrade? I'm like, this is not a downgrade. This is an upgrade. Yes. It is an upgrade.
In so many ways.
Right.
They don't see that.
They know.
They're just looking on the surface of things. And when you look inside and you realize I'm carrying too much, you're not at your best.
I'm not. Okay, so I'll give you an example. So in the previous salon, and I know you can identify with this.
Yes.
So I had a very large space. It was a space where I worked. It was a space for the students.
It was beautiful.
Space for the training. I had 2 private rooms. Because I had this space, it was almost forcing me to do things that were not even in my business model.
Correct.
I'm up here on Instagram posting room for rent. I'm like, wait a minute.
You gotta do all the
I'm
things.
laughing about it now because it's like you're renting the room because the room is available. But if I look at my business model,
It
room
doesn't
for
fit
rent
this.
is not even in the model. I don't want to be a landlord.
Correct.
But because I'm here and it's there, I'm finding myself creating more of a load.
And you know what? A load, it's like as soon as we make money, we got to get more stuff. We got to go bigger. But what you're supposed to do with money is let it go multiply, not you spend it and then what? Yeah. You know what I mean? And then you're carrying your friends, you're carrying your family, you're just carrying this facade. It's a lot.
And when I think about every single reason why I had that larger salon, it was not for me.
No,
none of the reasons that I can give was I able to justify
that
with
it was
me.
For you.
It was, well, there were other girls who worked there, wanted space.
Yes.
Oh, well, I had students, space from the practice. Oh, well, I have training, space to hold the trainings. Oh, well, I have these rooms. I can create content. I can rent it out to other people.
Yes.
And I'm like, none of this is helping
You.
Zuri.
Yes.
Because every single one of these things requires me to do more for someone else.
Oh.
And so I looked at my business and it's like, while from the outside, people may feel like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, your business
they don't
is the bomb. It is thriving.
Yes.
Well, that's to you.
Right.
Well, that's also because my
the way
10% is a lot of people's 90.
And that too. Okay.
That's the thing. So it's like
That
they're
too.
judging you by
All
their
the things you've done.
criteria. When
Yes.
it's like, I am not even, this is me playing small.
Correct.
I'm not even scratching
We haven't
the
even
surface.
hit our fullest potential yet.
And they think we are, though. Because when
Right.
you amass so many things, people think that equates to success. I'm like, girl, I'm over here depressed, anxious, skin breaking out, hair falling
Figuring
out.
out how I'm gonna pay this and do this, and oh my God, all the things that just get rid.
So
yes.
you helped me with that, and
I'm
that
glad.
is something. So I want you to tell me, how has your personal journey and this journey that you are on influenced the way you show up in business?
So, because here's what I have to laugh at myself, and I'm good at doing that. Because it's like, keep from crying, right? Just gotta laugh it off. Okay, what did this teach me? So, with me changing, or just me being in business and dealing with so many people, kind of spinning back on what you were saying, coming into contact with so many people, so many different walks of life. And once you reach different levels, you meet, there's like me and my friends say, new levels, new devils. Oh my gosh, you have to change. Your sweet, just kind way, it don't work. So I gotta forever change because I'm dealing with so many different people.
And I want to caveat that, like, not saying not to be nice as in be mean, because I think that when you got to stand on something. There's a book, Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office. I want to throw a shameless plug in there.
It's
that
true.
If you have not read Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office, I want you to read that book. It's not about being a mean girl.
No.
But it's not about being a nice girl either.
No.
I want to be kind. I want to be good. I want to be compassionate. I want to be empathetic. But I don't want people to look at the word nice in the dictionary and see my picture next to it. Because nice has gotten me ran over.
Yes.
Nice has gotten me in a space of being a people pleaser. I want to be kind.
Exactly.
I want to be respectful. And I want to stand on something.
And you have to have boundaries.
Right.
That was something new for me.
It's like you get a couple dollars and you lose your boundaries. It's like, what's wrong? But I'm the problem.
Correct.
We are the problem.
And then it's just you outgrow a lot of things, and we try to stay in certain situations. Oh, it's all of those things. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's okay to grow. I think that's our problem too.
So when you think about in terms of your business and entrepreneurship, so do you feel like you're running your business differently?
Yes.
In what ways?
I am at a point that I'm okay with not being able to do everything and hire someone who is good at it.
Wow, that is a game changer.
Yes.
So who have you hired, girl?
So one is for the salon suites. Okay, the salon suites. I now have a property manager. Let me tell you one thing I learned, and it just blows my mind because, again, I want a space where it was affordable. I want our people in there. But those are the very ones that run out on you, don't pay their rent, had a nerve to sue you, and they owe you money. Like all these things. And it's just like, I was talking to my client, I'm not chasing nobody for money. I don't chase money, money chased me. And I had to realize that. And my client was like, oh, yeah, that's not your ministry. I'm not doing that.
I don't want to be a landlord.
I am okay
First
with
of
being
all,
one, but I want a
why
property
am I
manager to
even in
manage.
this suite? First of all,
That was another thing. Having to separate myself.
Like, first of all, not only do I want to be a landlord, why am I even doing any of this? What's wrong with
that
me?
part? Okay, because you want to you want to step out and do new things and grow, but when you do that, you do open yourself up to a whole lot of. It's like dealing with kids, and I love all my girls. I do, and that was my problem.
Yeah,
there's such a personal connection,
and it's a lot of relationships to manage.
And it's like I don't want to be the bad guy or seem like the bad guy when I'm asking you for your rent. If you're here, you're using the space, you're taking the clients, but you don't want to pay your rent.
You
Where
know
do we
what?
do
It's
this
such
at?
a funny story. I'm gonna tell this story. I won't name any names, but my best friend, she, she owns a salon.
Yeah.
And she was just saying how difficult it is managing all the relationships in the salon. So much so that she actually has gotten like a private suite, even though she still has the salon. Just for a little reprieve. It's just a lot managing
other people.
And and I've experienced it. I mean, if you are in the sweets business, if you are renting, space, it doesn't matter what kind of space, the having to chase people down for your money?
What? I'm not.
It is a real thing.
And having to be professional, chasing you for your money.
Yeah.
What? It's hard,
That's
right? And it's like, okay.
And it's that thing where, and I know that we are in a different place in the economy than we were post-COVID. I feel like,
and I agree.
So we have forgotten that post-COVID era was not
temporary.
The norm. It was temporary. Yes. And so now it's like, I can't afford to not allow you to pay me for 3 weeks. No, I need it too.
I needed my money too.
I need
because
my
when
money
you
too.
don't pay, I have to pay.
When you don't pay,
they don't get
and
it.
I always
it's coming
tell
out
people,
of my pocket
tell people nothing
to help
is free.
you in your business.
Just because you're not paying for it doesn't mean it's not being paid for. And that was just a place in business where I had to do some personal reflection and recognize that is totally not my ministry.
That is not. And
I
it's
don't even want to hound down a family member or friend who owns me money.
Never.
So I don't want to do it with people that I don't even have a relationship with. That part of business is just not
for me.
But I think it works well for a lot of people, and I admire the people who
it worked for
are people-centered people. I think that I'm more of a project-centered person. I'm not a people-centered person.
Okay.
So I can work on projects, I can work on things, I can work on initiatives, but I think I struggle with managing so many relationships at one time with so many different people.
Yes.
Because, I mean, it's like we're talking and communicating with clients all day, and then that extra layer, because you have what, 2 salon suites? That's a lot of folks. That's a lot of rents you're owed.
It is. It is a lot. It is a lot.
That's a lot of rents.
If you have, but the thing about it is too, I think because you go in it and you want to give people a chance. But I don't feel that they give themselves a chance.
Oh, so true.
They quit so easy.
They do.
You're not doing the work. You're looking at me to promote your business.
Yeah. And I think
you know what
that's
I mean?
also like that post-COVID era too, right?
Yes.
So COVID tricked a lot of people into thinking, well, I have a little money, so I can just go start a business. And so I feel like during that time, consumers were just spending.
Yes.
Like people were just getting stuff that they wouldn't even normally get. But now we are back in a season where you have to actually promote your business to get people to come in.
Correct.
And people have forgotten.
Yes.
And they're saying it's slowing down. I'm like, no, this is normal.
Right. You're slowing down.
I'm with you when you right, friend.
That's right.
They are slowing down.
You're slowing
yes,
down.
and so
you're not doing all the things because it felt good and it fed you when it was coming
when
in.
it was coming
But you got to
in.
keep that same
Right.
energy.
And
you know
and
what I
if
mean?
they really took some time to look back and reflect, like the people who were coming in, how much energy did you even really put into that? Or were they just coming?
They were
just
coming.
because they were coming.
Yes.
But that's what I have experienced. It's like you do so much to help other people and you
They
look
not gonna do it for
around
you.
and you are the one who's going the hardest. It's like, well, wait,
I
out of
thought we
all
were
of us, I should kind of be the one who can relax.
Yeah.
But I'm going
hard for
the
you.
hardest.
And I'm believing in you more than you believe
Even
in
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah.
I'm doing all the things, and then you
So
become
it's
a
physical
mother.
and it's mental. Yeah.
And yes, and you don't want you want to when you're business is doggy dog, okay, and you gotta have a dog in you to run with the dogs, like you do.
Yeah.
Like it's not a time to sit back and chill and just hope it fall in your lap. You gotta go get it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
and
with
if
this
you're
new
not,
with this new social media,
but social media makes it to the point where you can put the content out there to bring in what you want to bring in. But if you're not posting or no one knows you exist, then how you
Right.
think they just coming?
right? They opening up the
Falling
white
out the sky?
pages.
It just doesn't work that
They
way.
think you open up the white pages looking for
Right.
artistry by
Right.
Zuri. Like, no.
No. That's not. People used to ask me, "How do you promote your business?" I solely built my business off of Instagram
Yeah,
alone.
you did because you were like on Instagram back when even I wasn't as much on it. And then when the Reels trend came, you were like, friend,
Do the Reels.
get on these Reels. And I just couldn't get with it.
Yes.
And your following grew so
It
quick.
grew quick.
And then you're like all on TikTok and you're like on
It
live.
grew.
I'm like, I cannot get with it. So I ended up being late to the party. So I have a
Yes, being
following,
late.
but I am not nearly where. But let me tell you what became a load for me. I realized that I did not want to have to constantly sell myself on the internet.
No.
And so now I'm in that place where it's like, I'm really not even trying to do that. So, I mean, I know that I have
a lot.
But let me tell you, because my next question for you is going to be about how the place you are in your life has caused you to evolve in your business. For me, I am in this place of like, I feel like I've accomplished so many things that I just want to do what I want to do.
Yes.
I want to post what I want to post.
Yes.
I don't want to be a slave to social media. And so
Yes.
I'm like, I'm just tired of posting brows. I'm going to get on here and just talk about
Do my
something else.
thing.
I want to talk about something else and hope that you still book the brows.
Because there's layers to us. And we're being so one-dimensional.
And I'm being so one-dimensional by only posting the services that I provide. So I am in this space where it's like, you know what? I want to talk about art. I want to talk about science. I want to talk about wellness. I want to talk about health. And I want you to see that and say, now that's a girl that can do my
right.
That's what I want you to say.
She can do all things.
I don't want to
just be one thing.
That's what it is. Social media made me so one-dimensional.
Yes. And
that
it's like
it made it, I was tired. It's like,
you
y'all
get the
don't know I
burnout.
can do brows by now. Golly.
Y'all know I'm a good artist.
Yeah,
Quit playing.
yeah, no.
But then, and you start posting new stuff, and then where do they go? So I'm like, okay, well, let me just post what y'all like.
You got to post what they
like, okay, let me just keep posting what you like.
But you know what? I've started to not care. I'm going to post what I want to post, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Like somebody's going to see it.
Somebody else will.
But it's making social media feel like so much less of a chore by me just doing and posting. Like I am thoroughly enjoying the science, even like this wellness content. Like I am thoroughly enjoying talking about take this collagen.
You know why?
Like I actually have a video loaded right now about why you should be taking collagen. And I'm so excited
about it.
Yes.
That's good because you get back that you feel that's your passion. You're passionate about it, not just all right, let me make sure I post by this time and this time so I can get a few views.
Right. And
a couple of appointments,
And a couple. I'm so tired of us being placed in restrictive beauty boxes.
I'm over that too.
That you can only be one type of person. And if you are not this, then you're not going to be successful on social media. And I am absolutely trying to not subscribe to that.
Exactly.
I love and like all things, and I want to be able to use my platform. Otherwise, I just don't want to use the platform at all.
Correct.
Because I am so tired of only posting
just
and talking about eyebrows.
Right, there's so much more to you.
I've done thousands of them, and I am tired of talking about eyebrows. Book
I
your
know.
appointments at www.
Right,
book
still
your
book though.
but still book. I'm not saying I don't appreciate.
No, we love that.
I am tired of
One
only
thing.
talking about
one thing.
thing.
Because that's because they only see one thing. And now it's good that you're showing so many layers of yourself and how smart you are. And I love that.
Thank you.
You know
but
what
you
I
know
mean?
what? Change can be so scary. So I want to ask you, how do you navigate the fear of stepping into something new and unfamiliar? I remember when you were in conversations about getting the salon suites. I just remember from the beginning, I remember walking through with you and seeing it wasn't even like doors yet. It was like not even electricity yet. And
none of that.
How do you navigate the fear of stepping into something? And I want you to talk about it from the lens of who you were back then versus who you are now.
Right. Okay. So one thing this is what I hear the most from friends and family. Char, you're never scared. You're never afraid. I'm not. I've never been that person.
Wow.
So fear, I don't even use that because I don't want to create my mind to start thinking, oh, don't do it. Because if it's something I fear, I'm not going to do it. It limits me.
Right.
So I'm okay with doing something and learning from it.
Right.
And then doing it better because that's the only way. Like if I'm afraid to do this, I would have never done any of the things that I've done.
So I saw something on social media that said that the list of failures is so much longer than the list of accomplishments. And the only thing that we see with a lot of people is the things that they accomplish, but not all of the things that they did not successfully accomplish.
Yeah.
But we only see the successes.
Right.
And so it makes me think it's like you have to try. I mean, because if you don't, you know what the outcome of that's going to be.
Nothing.
Right. The outcome is just nothing.
Yes, there's no outcome.
You're right. And so I've been really, really working to push past a lot of fears in my life and in business and just do the thing anyway.
Yes.
Like you lose nothing
if you try. And you don't, right. And so even with me being an artist, like trying different things, like, okay, you still take in what you do it gracefully, you do it with knowing what you do know, okay? And if it's not gonna kill you or it ain't gonna kill me, I'm gonna try the thing.
Right.
I'm gonna do it, like, because again, someone did it before us and came up with the ombre brows. Right. Okay, now we're all doing it. Someone had to do it, right?
So what's the boldest decision you've ever made in business?
Quitting my job.
Yes, let's talk about that because you were like in accounting, right?
No, I was in corporate. I worked for oil and gas, a Japanese oil and gas company.
Okay. Yes. And so did you quit your job like after you took a training class? Like how did that?
No. I worked.
Were you doing makeup? What did you quit your job to do?
Initially? I quit to do brows.
Permanent makeup?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. So I quit because I'll never forget a friend, or he did hair and he worked for himself. And, every time I go get my hair done, they are essentially working for themselves. You know what I mean? And he was like, Char, you're good. You're just not available. And I was like, because I was going to work and I was putting in the work, doing what I felt was the best for them, right? And then I would get off work and then put in time for me, which was less. I was giving them more than I was doing for me. And then when I got a review, let me tell you, this is what turned it at the job. And I'll
don't
never
tell me they
forget.
gave you a negative review. Do not.
And it was during a time when I was staying up there till midnight for them. And I'm sleepy driving home. And you gave me a bad review? So I did all the work for nothing and had no recognition. That's what made me leave, because if that hadn't happened, I'd still be there.
Now, let me ask you
I'm still loyal.
Would you go back and get you a job now?
If I had to. Yes, but because that happened, it gave me the courage to say, you know what? And my dad, I called my dad, I talked to him about it, and he's like, you know what? Do it. If it doesn't work, take your ass back to work.
You
got a hell of a resume.
Just go back to work.
You won't know unless you do it.
You won't know unless you do it.
So I did it,
girl.
and it was
That's
the
been
best.
Like what, 8 years, 9 years,
going on 9, right?
Yeah.
The best decision I ever made in my life. is walking out on faith. It is
Yeah.
real. Walk out on faith. I promise you. It changed my life.
Now, y'all, she is not telling y'all to get up and call y'all bosses tomorrow
I am definitely not
and
saying
go
that.
quit y'all's job.
Please don't.
But if you are working at a place that is not serving you, then you need to
Yes.
just change that. Whether that's a new job, whether
Yes.
that's shifting in your priority, you just have to try.
Relationships,
One thing
whatever.
I've learned about the universe, and I'll say, you know, I believe in God. I know that you believe in God. But one thing
Yes.
I've learned about the reciprocity of the universe is that a lot of times we spend so much time trying to decide between A and B. And we'll call all our friends, should I do this or that? Should I go left or right? Should I do A or B?
Yes.
But the reality is that the cosmic reciprocity of the universe works it out so much so that whatever you choose, A or B, it works out.
It will
If I
work
choose
out.
A, the universe aligns itself with A. If I
Correct.
choose B,
It's
the
gonna-
universe
Yes.
aligns itself with B. So
Yes.
in no way, in no situation, do you ever really lose.
You don't.
You don't.
If you sit there and do nothing, that's when you lose.
That part. That
You
part.
know what I mean? You have to do things. And if I take a left turn when I should have made a right, I'm going to figure it out.
I'll figure
by
it out.
going the wrong
By
way,
going the
right?
wrong way.
To get me back on track. So it's
Mhm.
okay. You can't be fearful about everything. You got to just take the chance. You know what I'm saying?
So let's pivot a little bit. So we are both in very similar industries. I want to know, you've been in the industry a little longer than me, actually. What are your thoughts on like the evolving landscape of the PMU industry?
Well, first, I think the more and more I see some things change, I don't know if I like all of it or not. Okay.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. I'm just a girl.
Oh
I don't know,
God.
I'm just
I'm
a
just
girl.
like, oh my goodness. So the one thing is I don't like playing by the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's so many people trying to, I don't know, everybody wants to be, I don't even know if I should say all the things.
Okay,
Let me
say
stop.
one thing. Say one thing. I really want to know. I want to know your opinion on just the evolution of the industry in comparison to like when you first got in it versus now.
Now, what I will say that I like, okay, because I
Okay,
don't
let's
want to
talk about
leave with
that.
negative.
Yeah.
Okay, I do like to see that there are more people of color doing this service because for a
Yes.
long time we didn't even know there was a place for us
We
to
didn't even
do
know that
that.
this was a thing.
We weren't doing this.
We like still drawing on
Right. Different cultures do different things
Mhm.
differently, and that wasn't our thing. We weren't getting tattooed
Right.
eyeliner and brow. That wasn't our thing. But once we saw how it could look good for us, that's when I was like, oh yeah, I want to do it like this.
And you know what's funny is I was just talking, like on a previous episode, I was speaking to a nurse, and we were talking about representation in medicine. So she does a lot of Botox, a lot of filler, and we were speaking about how seeing clinicians or seeing a provider that looks like you will encourage you to actually do a thing.
Correct.
And so what I'm noticing is not just this influx of artists. I'm noticing the rise in women of color who are also receiving
the
clients.
service. That
who are
was
also
what was
receiving the service,
amazing.
right?
Yes, because again, you didn't see us going out and getting these
No.
things. We weren't even looking for these type of services as far as the permanent makeup, because most people will put Black women in a box and say we don't need it.
We don't need it.
We don't need it. Don't do it. And so we don't. But we like to dress up and look nice and do different things too. So again, I'm happy that there are more artists that look like us and that will bring the clientele, and it changes the industry in a bigger way.
In a bigger way.
Yeah.
Our consumer power is so tremendous. I
We're
mean,
the
like the
number one
amount of
consumers.
money that Black women spend on beauty every year is like in the billions.
Correct.
So when people say things like, I think that industries are oversaturated, I think that there are too many people, that is not. I mean, you have people flying to you to get scar camouflage. Like I had a person drive 20 hours in the snowstorm to get their brows done.
Correct. And that's what I
that
knew.
we had a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's never too saturated for you. Because one thing about Black women is that we are actually willing to go the distance. That's
for what we want.
That is also something that is like particular to us. Like we are willing to go the distance, right?
And
like
get what we
we'll
want.
wait on who we want.
Yes.
We may have to save up a couple of paychecks
Right.
to do what we want to do, but we'll do it, and
Yeah.
we're willing
to
to
do
go
it.
the distance.
All my
And I
clients
love
will
that
say
for
the
us
same
and about
thing.
us.
I've been watching you for so long, for years,
Right.
but they're just now coming.
Just now pulling
Yes.
the trigger on
And
it.
it feels so good because when we're talking about the social media, you'll feel like no one's watching and whatever. They've been watching.
They've been watching.
You know, and they've been waiting to get in my chair.
They've been watching
and then
and
that
waiting.
also, my clientele, I'm in Houston, but I have a handful of Houston clients.
Right. You've always told me that the majority of your people kind of came from out of town. And that goes to show that our blessings are just not even limited by geographics.
No, we reach
it's like
so
we're
many
talking about a
people.
saturated industry, and it's like,
What?
but why are we just talking about Houston?
Yes, that's when I realized I'm limiting myself by just being in Houston.
By just being in Houston.
Because these people, I'm afraid, I've never been on a flight longer than 5 hours, and someone's getting on a flight for 25 to come to me.
Right.
What am I scared of?
Exactly. That's what
the fact that you know me way over there.
Right.
I need to get out of Houston.
It shows me how small that I'm actually playing, that somebody is willing to even do that.
When I tell you, everybody, I have a handful of Houston clients. In 9 years, everybody's flying in and flying back out.
Right.
That means I need to get out of Houston.
Story. Right. So along the lines of like women evolving, before we wrap up, I want to talk about this cut that I see. Is this a part of your evolution, your journey? What do they say about a woman who cuts her hair? She's ready to like take over the world.
I'm ready.
Tell us about this cut.
I am so ready. Let me tell you. It is so funny. I tell everybody I was trapped in a wig. I was. All the girl, I was so tired of pulling and tugging and all of the things. I was over it. But what I started to realize when I would go, because typically I take one wig off or take one weave out and put another one on. But when I started to actually look in the mirror, I was like, wait a minute, where's my hair?
Where's my real forehead?
Where's my... Who am I? When I stopped recognizing myself, I knew it was a problem. When I was looking around and I was looking at all the things we bought, and I got a big trash bag of hair, I said, something wrong.
I am loving that hair.
Thank you. Girl, something was wrong.
It's got to be such a liberating place to be in.
I feel so free. I go out and no one's looking up at my lace because they're looking at me. Oh my God.
Oh my God, girl. I'm like, stay pulling.
Oh God, that's so funny. I can laugh at myself.
I stay pulling and tugging on a hairpiece.
Yeah, and then when I started getting in the car and then like, oh God, I hadn't even made it home.
Girl,
when I finally would take it, I said, this is, I need to
like
stop.
A breath of fresh air.
Yes. Look, my hair was so dead and brittle. Well, and I wonder why. It's covered up 24/7. It doesn't get any air, no sun, no water, nothing. It is dead. I started thinking more clear. It was like the real Chara stand up.
Wait a minute. When you took the wig off, you started thinking more clearly.
We don't know where them wigs are coming from, what it's made of. We just be putting it on. Listen, okay.
The wig is bringing baggage.
Yes. I had to let it go.
Don't carry anything that might be a load.
It was a load.
So you mean to tell me that vision told you to get rid of your wigs too?
Yes. Because let me tell you, when I started looking around,
your vision didn't tell me that.
I know. Hey, but don't get me wrong. I still love wigs, weaves, and I'm still gonna wear the things. But what I admire from the girls who can switch it up is they switch it up.
No, like you're really inspiring me to get that pixie is like pixing,
and it's like growing even more like
hair, like that Bobbiana.
It's cute. It's just enough.
Yes.
It's and it costs less. Girl, let me tell you, and the funny thing is, and I'm not seeking attention, but I get more attention. But I get it too, because when I'm in a room, the girls who have their own, they stand out because the rest of us all look the same,
Mhm,
right? We
that's
all
true.
got the same bust down.
Middle part bust down, jet
Okay,
black, got
40.
you.
We
Got
all
you.
got the
26, 24, 22, jet black,
right.
got you. Got it.
Got it.
Got
Well,
it.
okay. But the girls who in there and they just look sexy with their own,
Yeah,
that is
that is a
everything.
phenomenal cut. I
Thank
love
you.
the cut.
Thank you. I'm still trying to figure it out because to be honest, I like messy hair. I like to be more edgy than what I feel like now I'm finally in a job where I can be creative and be my own
Even in your
spunky
personal
self.
appearance too.
Correct.
It's limiting when
You're
you're at
in
work.
corporate and I started still being
You
that.
gotta fit the mold.
I'm out of there. Like
Girl.
break free. And I did. And I just feel so much better.
This has been like such a wonderful conversation. Like, you're a woman evolving. I'm a
Yes.
woman evolving. I can
Yes.
imagine the people who are watching and listening are
Good.
women evolving. I want you to leave our listeners and our viewers with one piece of advice before we wrap up this episode. What would you tell the next woman who is in constant evolution, much like ourselves?
Embrace the change and don't stay too long.
Mm.
Okay? Embrace it. When you're changing, go with it. But like I was telling my friend too, you got to still meet people where they're at. But just because you're changing doesn't mean everybody else is. And it's okay if they're not coming along. We're going to leave some people where they're at and you grow. Stay moisturized, water, grow, baby, grow. And don't stay too long trying to figure out what's wrong and why don't I like these things. It's okay to grow and move on.
And allow your mind to be changed.
Yes.
It's okay.
Allow it.
I thought
It's
one thing and
okay.
now I think something else. Like,
Yes.
allow your mind.
Get in rooms where you were saying, like, oh, we always ask different people this and that. Get in rooms where they're doing it or they're, experiencing like minds is what I'm trying to say. Because when you continue to talk to people in your past who are still in one place, they don't understand your change because they're not there.
They're not there.
And it's okay.
And it's okay.
It's okay.
And
That's okay
I
for them, and
definitely
it's okay
believe
for
that
us.
different people in our lives serve different purposes.
Absolutely.
Like, I have my friends who I'm going to call when I want to know what the Bible says.
Yes,
I have my
we got
friends who I'm
different
going to
friends.
call when I need a feather or two to be ruffled.
Okay,
exactly.
We have all the and it's okay.
Yes, and it's okay.
Wherever they're at, we got to meet people where they're at, and you be okay with changing who you are. It's okay.
Thank you so
You're welcome,
much
friend.
for being on this episode. You always
you.
support all of my crazy pursuits.
Always, I'm gonna show up.
I'm dragging Chara with me to Atlanta in
And I'm
March for
going.
yet another
Event.
thing that I'm doing. You are always so supportive
I'm always
of
willing.
me.
Yes, of
And
course.
I just want to thank you so much for being on this show, just for
Thank
being
you.
a friend. And I'm just so happy to see your evolution. You're
Okay.
inspiring me, girl. I
Good.
might just take my wig off, not on camera, but I might just end up with a pixie next time you see me. You never
Good.
know.
And it's gonna be so good.
You never know. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode of the Beauty and Brains podcast. And that is why we are here. We intersect beauty, art, science, and wellness all in one space. And we talk about the intersection and all of the things thereof. Shout out to Sacred Stone Media, audio, visual, and the production behind this amazing show. Shout out to TB, the brand strategist, Tina Bass, who is the producer. Thank you for attending and listening to the Beauty and Brains podcast with Dr. Zuri Dale.